Now then, it won't be a big one, won't be a long one this morning. Big one, oops. Won't be a long one this morning because I've got a few minutes before I have to get myself ready. I've got another shift delivering for the NHS. Bonza. So before I go out and do that, I thought I might address the issue that's been going around lately of intolerance. Intolerance. Now, I've been thinking about this. What is intolerance, right? Now, people are lactose intolerant, aren't they? And other sort of foods. Now, this gives me the parallel. This gives me the thought process, if you like. If you are lactose intolerant and somebody forces milk into you, you are ill, right? You are poorly. Actually physically unwell. So I'm wondering, when you switch intolerance to the other meaning, or another meaning, the unwillingness to accept the views, beliefs or behaviour that differ from your own, maybe if you have that, if you are intolerant and you have tolerance or something forced upon you, like reasonable thinking, maybe it makes you ill. So maybe this current intolerance that we're experiencing is actually an illness. Eh? I wonder if it is. Because it certainly doesn't make any sense to me. The way that people are sniping at each other. I saw one the other day, yesterday actually, on a Royal Enfield Facebook group. And a man was asking how much his bike was worth. And another man said that the extras, the things that this guy had put on his 2009 bike to make it look old, weren't genuine. Now the guy owning the bike, the guy wanting to sell the bike, had quite clearly said at the top, it's a 2009 bike. But he'd obviously got a private registration, or who knows, who cares? He wasn't trying to pass it off as a 1950s very, very valuable Royal Enfield. He quite clearly said it's a 1990 bike, styled to look older. That was it, just styled to look older. And a vicious vitriol between these two people, two human beings. Now I'm fairly sure if they met face to face, they wouldn't say these things. Certainly the one insulting the bike wouldn't be saying those things. Intolerance. And then, by the same token, it has to be said, to be fair, the other guy, the guy selling the bike, he could have pulled his neck in as well, couldn't he? He could have seen the intolerance that was coming at him, the negativity. Could have seen that. He could have reacted differently. But he did choose to stick the boot in verbally. And it was upsetting. I didn't want to read the rest of the conversation between them. I wasn't interested in the rest of the thing. And it was supposed to be about a motorbike. And I'm interested in Royal Enfields. I've got one. I want to find a donut engine to make a chop for myself. If you don't know what a chop is, you probably shouldn't be watching me, to be fair. But you can Google it. But yes, myself and Mark that I was riding with yesterday, both expressed an opinion that we'd quite like to make an hardtail chop. My missus has been telling me off for quite a few weeks because I've been umming and ahhing and showing her photos and drooling over this particular one that I like. I'd like to emulate this. So yeah, that's that. Where was I going with this? Intolerance. That's right, yes. So we come to the protests that are going around the world. Started from intolerance, the intolerance of a certain group of policemen to not tolerate anything in their society that they didn't like. views, beliefs and behaviours that differed from their own. They refused, it appears, to accept cultural differences. And then there was a flashpoint. They refused to accept that the man that they were arresting, although he had technically broken a law, as we understand it, buying cigarettes with counterfeit money is a law. It's broken a law. It is an offence. But where's the tolerance? And because of that intolerance, that man's died. And that was a spark. All right, the many thousands that were and are jumping up and down and making a kerfuffle, causing a hoo-ha, a hullabaloo. Silly persons, all bubbling under the surface, just waiting for an excuse. Most people, if you showed them a photograph of the deceased, wouldn't have a clue who it is that they're rioting for. Intolerance, you see. Not willing to tolerate the views, beliefs, or behaviour that differ from their own. I've heard people defending Winston Churchill, which is fine. I am a supporter of the man. But you can't put Winston Churchill on the non-racist side. Winston Churchill had quite a dim opinion of anybody that wasn't from these here fair white isles. In history, go and look it up yourselves. This is balance, my friends. This is fact. From a man that supports, reveres Winston Churchill. I think he was an amazing fella. Absolutely. The way he pulled this nation together in the second half of the Second World War as our Prime Minister was absolutely amazing, wonderful. And he deserves his statues. And he deserves them not to be desecrated by idiots, intolerant fools, jumping on a bandwagon. It is silly and it should stop. We need to tolerate one another. All races, all religions. There's no excuse. There are no exceptions. If somebody wants to kneel down and sniff the bum of the man in front and do his funny prayers, let him do them. Let him do them. They're not affecting you and me. They affect you and me if they do different things beyond that religion. If they make that religion an excuse for doing something else, then it crosses a line. If people want to kneel down in front of a man wearing a frock and have holy water dribbled over them, and the handbag on fire being waved about, don't be intolerant. If that's what they do, if that's what makes them content within themselves, what's that to you? What's that to me? Don't be intolerant. It's a different view. It's a different belief. It's a different behaviour from your own. But it's not to be having rocks thrown at them, not to be having bad things said about them. I know I've said what I've said in a mocking way, but that's just my way of being, you know. That's why the church don't like me. Because I speak the truth as I see it. Sometimes people need a thicker skin. You hear about thin-skinned people. Well, that's the start of intolerance, being thin-skinned. I've had to pull my neck in many a time. As you know, I use Facebook. And many a time people type things and they probably don't mean it. Might be a little bit, a little bit tipsy. Might be a little bit under the influence, whatever. And sometimes the next day people see these things and wish they hadn't said them. It's up to me and all the viewers that read these things for themselves to be more tolerant. You see, intolerance, another word for it is bigotry. Now, you don't want to be called a bigot now, do you? I've heard the expression gammon-headed racist bandied about. Some people that I've heard and seen being called a racist. Outrageous. Outrageous. Just stop it basically, stop it. And it starts with you, and it starts with me. And if you are more tolerant, and if I am more tolerant, it spreads. Like this COVID, like this thing that we're all trying not to talk about, it spreads from one person to another, doesn't it? They talk about the R number. If the R number goes above 1, then the infected person spreads it to more than one other person. Well, how about we increase the R number of tolerance? So that your tolerance and my tolerance infect more than one other person. Just an idea. You all have yourselves a lovely day. Ponder on this intolerance. Try not to be bigoted. Try not to be parochial. I'm going to try. I struggle myself. As I've said, every time I do these things, I'm not preaching at people. Not at all. Let's lift us all up. Let's make us all better people. Even the rioters, let's be more tolerant. They're going to do what they're going to do. You can't stop them. I can't stop them. But let the powers that be do what they do. And let's not take to social media ramping up the rhetoric. There's no need for it. It doesn't serve any purpose other than to get people cross, to raise the blood pressure for no discernible reason. So let's have a tolerant day, shall we? I'm going to try my best. I've got to go out there in a bit, load up my bike. I'm off to Stoke today delivering for the NHS, taking prescriptions to people that can't get out. And I hope they will tolerate the delivery being made by a scruffy biker type, not their nice uniformed NHS man. But it is a voluntary thing, so, maybe the R number of my tolerance will go up today. Let's hope so. You have a good day. I love you all. Ta-da.